So, dear friends, let us focus our attention to right views, which is the first step of the Noble Eightfold Path. This step is undoubtedly connected to other steps of the path, namely right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And what are right views? Right views are nothing but realities that exist uh, in the nature. So, understanding these realities as they are is understanding right views. And what are these realities? And how are these realities helpful to develop the Noble Eightfold Path? Now, what are the views which are mentioned as right views in the Noble Eightfold Path as right views? Belief in impermanence, anitya, is a right view explained in Buddhism. Rebirth is a right view. Belief in karma is a right view. So, those who do not believe in these things may have difficulty in practicing the other steps mentioned in the path. And belief in a Brahma or belief in different deities, and there are many views which are not helpful for a person to follow the Noble Eightfold Path. Why does this happen? It is because some of these views develop greed, hate, and cruelty in a person, and some of them may not, but anyway, uh, it is of great importance that one looks at views which are mentioned as right views through one's own intellect and what one has inherited from previous generations as right views should be also analyzed and investigated to one's intellect, and it is a person's responsibility, a person's interest to embrace or discard a view. So, those who are able to accept views which are mentioned as right views in Buddhism could successfully uh, follow the other steps in the path, which help which help them to develop wisdom. So, this is how right views are connected to practicing the path. Now, during the time of the Buddha, during his ministry, many wrong views existed, and Buddha texts mention about 62 wrong views which prevailed at the time which the Buddha preached the Dhamma. Even in the Buddhist cultures existent in various countries, there are wrong views which have been absorbed uh, into Buddhism, and people unknowingly accept them as right views, and uh, they give more attention to these views and rituals associated with them. And while doing so, they neglect what should be done, the hard work that should be done to purify and develop one's mind. They give prominence to rituals, chanting of uh, texts, etc., which which should not be condemned. They should be also added after having understood the basics of Buddhism. Whatever view that is preached should be examined by one's own intellect. And if a person is incapable of understanding these views as acceptable views, he may not be successful in pursuing the other steps. Now, each step is connected to mind development. It is through these steps that we develop mindfulness, concentration, as well as four noble Brahma qualities such as metta, friendliness, karuna, compassion, mudita, sympathetic joy, and upekkha, equanimity. So, those who have embraced right views and discarded wrong thoughts, which are mentioned as greedful thoughts, hateful thoughts, and thoughts connected with cruelty, shall be able to practice Buddhist morality more successfully. Each step mentioned in Buddhist morality would help a person to find out the true nature of his or her mind, how thoughts arise, how they influence verbal and physical deeds, how one can catch these thoughts and suppress them, and how with one's own effort can control oneself and one's mind. So this is a practice, this is a process that uh, that enables you to identify your own mind, develop wisdom, and develop noble qualities. The wisdom factor is very important in rejecting wrong uh, thoughts, wrong speech, and wrong deeds, because after having reflected on these deeds that are to be committed, one apply breaks to one's mind, where one develops mindfulness and concentration. So this is how right views are important to the Buddhist path. So this path should be followed. Uh, Almost 8 steps of the path could be followed at the same time. Instilling right views needs a lot of thinking, a lot of reading, listening to Dhamma, and examining these views with one's intellect, because it is your own responsibility. It is of your own interest that you do this. Cultural Buddhism, ritualistic Buddhism, and mind development are different to one another. Each has its own value. Anyway, Buddha clearly stated that views should be investigated, and any view any faith object should be balanced with the faculty of wisdom. Balancing of these two faculties, faculty of wisdom and faculty of faith, is a must to develop intelligence or wisdom, which will ultimately lead one to liberation. Thank you for listening. We shall touch on the other views one by one, as well as other steps of the path in our next videos. This video was brought to you with the courtesy of Jnana Darshan Association. I am Ajit Rajapaksha, President of Jnana Darshan Association. We are publishing several videos as meritorious acts, and maybe our video quality is not that much good. It is due to limited resources that we happen to broadcast this type of videos, but in the future, as we gain success, we may be able to broadcast more quality videos. Thank you for listening. May the Triple Gem bless you.